most definitely not playing for ADT.
Oh, definitely not. ADT, another chance, but the flag is up. Maharlika will look to kickstart things as they started his match on the back foot. And given the difficult start, I'm sure they weren't able to execute their game plan. What do you think will they have to do? To just kickstart things.
Well, the answer there is in the substitutes, because already very early in the match, Maharlika is preparing to make a sub.
And it's definitely tactical because no man is down and they find themselves in this hole. Yes, you're down 1-0, but unfortunately they haven't been able to play their brand of football.
That kind of pressing is really just a half-hearted pressing.
Shraki. Open goal, unfortunately. Valdez. Up to Saud. Gets it back from Maniti, but Boris. Pressure continues, but that'll be whistle against Aldeguer.
But I like what I see from ADT. Maharlika played a very high line. What do ADT do? They play a high ball with space behind the defenders. Naghahabol si Shraki ng bola. Unfortunate for him not to hit the ball on target.
So the substitution that we are having here, it is Marvin Viray stepping off for Bensire Villanueva. So Villanueva is listed as a forward for them. Look to kickstart the attack.
Well, nothing really working for Maharlika so far. They've really been on the back foot for 28 minutes of the game.
So we will also be having that chess match, of course, between the coaches. With the loss of the game, they have 5 substitutions now. That's per team. So it's up to Coach Jongil Kim to sort that out. Galiantes wasn't able to secure possession well. Galasa. But put out by Aldeguer, I believe, but possession will be in favor of the Azkals development team. This is one of the plays earlier. That was the goal.
And very clearly onside, Claro. Initially was ruled offside, but obviously very clearly 2 men behind the ball. Aldeguer making no mistake with his left foot there.
Capitalizing on the fact that Baguio was not able to deny that ball into the box. So here we go. It's been mainly traffic again from the team in white. The ADT, they are in their all white kits. And as we mentioned earlier, Maharlika in their all black. Schwarzer. Shraki took that over Boris. Niero. No whistle by the referee. Aldeguer. Options left and right. Looks to go for Saud. Saud waiting for some options. Eventually sends it in. Maniti. Shraki. Shraki with some space. But Shraki taken from behind by Baring. No whistle by the referee. Baring looking to kickstart things. Galasa. Played forward. Sent in, but well defended.
Well, that is much, much better from Maharlika Manila. And you can see there the composure that they showed. Not rushing the passes, waiting for the teammate to make the run. Good defending in the end by ADT. But that is what Maharlika need if they want to come back in this game.
Although that was unfortunate for them, it's just a matter of getting those in as ADT lobbed over the keeper. But it wasn't too difficult, and it was read by Vicente Valdez. But you like the intention that he saw the keeper's a little off his line.
And you can see now the difference in the way Maharlika approached the game. First 25 minutes, nakita natin Maharlika defending very, very deep, absorbing the pressure. Now, you see Maharlika just pushing that backline a bit forward, giving up space behind True, but being closer to the goal.
Here we go. That was Clarino. And they pick up a set piece.
Ang isang maganda rin na nakita natin si ADT. They realize that Maharlika, mataas yung backline. So ginagawa ng ADT, just giving the high balls for the forwards to chase.
That can also be tricky, of course, as you'll have to time your runs and make sure you're not offside. But it's been so far so good. But is this the moment?
So nakita natin na change in mentality para sa Maharlika Manila. And now they've been more direct and having more chances. Meron silang free kick ngayon.
So we have Michael Menzi sending this in. Headed by Maniti. Shraki, I believe, was held on. And that's the reason behind the call. And you look at the jersey of Shraki. Medyo mahaba yung pangalan. It's now Cabizares Shrak. As he clarified, he wanted to honor his mother by adding that to his jersey also.
Yung iconic number 17. The jersey ni Stefan Schrack.
Gallantes picked it up as they're looking to play South earlier and they get it back to him. South, Gallantes without an angle. Aldeguer. Maharlika asking for offside. Shraki picked up well, but given away unfortunately. ADT working their way on the right. Now play back to Shraki. He has that free roaming role, lobs it over. Aldeguer. And they get flagged offside.
Good defending by Maharlika Manila. Just launching on that offside trap. But I really like itong laro ni number 9 ni Andres Aldeguer. He's really tireless, hardworking. Nakascore na siya ng unang goal and yet still looking for more. And I guess one person, one name to look forward to if you're among the many names ito sa ADT.
Oh, no doubt about that. It's just a matter of getting these guys the platform to shine, and that's what they're getting as.
On your screens is the man of the hour, si Andres Aldeguer.
He seemed a bit gassed for the moment, but he's no longer down in the recovery position. And lovely footwork from Nunez. Saut, they give it away. Baring looking to play Clarino, the former UST striker. Suited up for a great number of teams too. The professional scene in the Philippines. Gets it back. Was blocked. Shraki unable to get it. Pinheiro looking to slither past the shot, but denied by Maniti.
Good skill from number 22 na si Pinheiro.
He was giving them some life. If you have a guy like that up front to give you the confidence, again, that's another boost to them.
At nakita natin some tweaks from Maharlika Manila. Now si OJ Clarino naglalaro sa kanan. Nasa kaliwa na siya ngayon. And a bit more aggression from the men in black na Maharlika Manila. Naghahabol sila, so you expect them to try and get that equalizer.
And let's see if that let's see if that pressure from Maharlika will be able to break down this ADT defense as the service into the area. Baring got a touch at the moment. But Amirul got the last touch, and that will be corner kick number 1 by my personal tally dito para sa Maharlika Manila.
Well, number 30 na si Kamil Amirul had to be strong, had to be decisive with that clearance.
So again, tuloy-tuloy ang progress dito ng Maharlika as they are chasing the game. They are down again 1-0 as Andres Aldeguer found the back of the net in the 21st minute dito para sa Azkals development team, and that's been the script at the moment. And the service headed, but not a problem at all. But it will be another corner kick, I believe. And we can see earlier the frustration in the service earlier. That was the previous play.
Last touch off of an ADT player and back-to-back corners para sa Maharlika Manila. First real sustained pressure from the men in black.
So kahit wala pang goal ang Maharlika, game on po dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. So it is an outswinger this time to be driven in. Bodies in the area. But unfortunate, Clarinho unable to get his head to it, as that ball was a tad bit too high for him.
Importante talaga na magkaroon ng maraming chances because in these set pieces, in these corners, a ball to the box can lead to a goal.
At kita natin siguro, lamang yung Maharlika Manila in terms of height. Kita nga natin, medyo inis si Ghislaine Boris sa kanilang set piece. Medyo late nga yung delivery sa una.
Sayang yun, no? OJ Clarinho.
Schwarzer keeps it in.
Now you see Maharlika Manila pressing very high.
So medyo nag-iba yung ating script dito. But time will tell. That's 8 minutes away from halftime. Galasa plays it back. Sampaga. But Aldeguer gets it. Play on according to referee Clifford Daipuyat. Shraki sends it off to Saud again. Saud looks to get his way past. 2 men on him. Shraki. Saud cutting in with options in the area, but picked up, but oh! It will be a goal kick. Another close one. Maharlika supporters had to hold their breath for a moment.
Nakita mo the quality of Stefan Schrock and si Aldeguer just waiting there in the box for service from Stefan Schrock. At kamontik na yun, would have been 2-0 kung nakuha ni Aldeguer yung bola. But Maharlika are now aware of the threat posed by the towering number 9 ng ADT.
So they have his number already. So sabi ni Joel Montalban, wow, my goal na, watching from Tawau Sabah. And tanong ni Carlo Abisami, sino po naka-goal? So 21st minute, Andres Aldeguer found the back of the net.
Pwede ko mong sabihin, remember the name, Claro.
Remember the name, remember the face, remember the number. Lalo na siguro kung may second goal.
Titingnan natin because si Aldeguer and ADT, of course, gusto niyan only to separate themselves from Maharlika. Maharlika, of course, nakita natin in the last 8 minutes, threatening, knocking on the door ng ADT.
So a matter of converting those chances. Kasi Ryan, sa totoo, kung maganda yung play ng Maharlika, tuloy-tuloy ito. At talo sila. Siguro hindi sila makatulog.
That's right. Nakita natin Maharlika now pressing the ADT and winning the ball in their own half.
And that's what led to this spell. And that's what led to the foul on Clarinho. Well, the foul was picked up by Clarinho rather. Confirmed there. That is Amirul.
Remember, nung nagsimula si OJ Clarinho, hindi pa siya ganyan ka-bulky eh. I mean, bulky in a good way, in the sense that he is now really strong. And look at his body there, number 9. Hindi mahirap tulakin yung tao yan, no? Because he's really strong now on the ball. And this is a chance here, Claro.
Frank Baring, their man up front. A bulky striker also. But he will be stepping up. 3-man wall to beat, along with Julian Schwarzer. Here we go. Not too much power, but that was on target. Not a problem at all. Dito para kay Julian Schwarzer.
Chance for Maharlika. In the end, a little bit disappointing. But again, yung mga chances na yan, you have to build up on these small chances. Keep the pressure up.
Galiantes took a push. So we have may konting tulakan dito between Galiantes and Ambong. So yellow card issued.
Well, Galiantes, parang siyang favorite ng mga Maharlika players because kanina si Galasa and now it's the number 3 ng Maharlika. Such a pesky winger for ADT, si Eric Galiantes. And a few words exchanged. Some sweet nothings.
And we are approaching the halftime mark, so stay tuned everybody. Do not forget, tuloy pa rin to. May second half tayo mamaya, 4 minutes away from the break. At sa shots natin ngayon, may 7 shots tayo para sa Azkals development team at 5 para sa Maharlika. So play resumed. So sabi mga Ryan, regular customer si Galiantes dito sa mga defenders ng Maharlika. Rosquillo. Shraki on the left this time. We mainly saw him in the center for them. Aldeguer chasing number 2. And saved well by Valdez. But Galiantes looking to keep it. And I believe that is a corner.
The skill here from Aldeguer. Composure as well. Dinala ang bola to a more central position before hitting or shooting.
He had to do that, of course, also with the numbers closing in. 2 defenders as may extra action tayo sa box as the service. Well over and off. So Maharlika will be resuming things in this match.
Good delivery from Stefan Schrack. It's number 30, Amirul, with a shot that was off target.
So the long ball this time. Clarino did well to control that. They were going for Baring. Back to Clarino. Numbers closing down on them. Takes it from distance, but Schwarzer, rather than let that go out for a goal kick, he wanted to resume things quickly as he saw Saut Shraki. And Abisamis Carlos saying, let's go Pinoy football. Dito po sa comments. Shout out din to David Andraneda from Bacolod. Saut into the area. Boris thought about it for a moment, but gives it away. Aldeguer, will he secure? Eventually with Nunez. So ball over the top. So Valdez gets forward.
The flag stayed down. And itong left winger na si Saut, Cyril Saut, you've mentioned his name a couple of times, klaro, napaka-active niya sa atake ng ADT.
Kapag may through ball, may on-switch lang. Walang jogging. Yung on-switch ay turbo lang.
That is correct.
The pressure being played on, but won by Nunez. But off the mark for them, unfortunately, going for the back post. It's been a busy day for Vicente Valdez.
And Henry Nunez probably just put off a little bit. Yung kakampi niya nasa harap niya, no, si Aldeguer. But nonetheless, the work rate na nakikita natin from ADT is really something else. And that was what we expect from a very young team that have energy to burn.
And that's been the difference maker in this match. So confirmed. 2 minutes of additional time before these teams head to the locker room. South Galiantes unable to get it. May have took a hand, but no whistle from the referee as he gets decked again by Ambong.
Alam mo, klaro, si Ambong, no? Si Alimar Ambong has to be careful. He's on a yellow card and his hands are all over Eric Galiantes and bringing him down. We've seen yellow cards given for that sort of infraction.
At first half pa lang dito. So
first half, correct. But he has to be careful. Si Ambong, they're down 1-0 and they cannot afford to be down to 10 men to Maharlika Manila.
When you look at the grand scheme of things, the players on the pitch right now for Maharlika, about 4 or 5 of them have received at least 1 yellow card this season already. And it will be 3 yellow cards until you get a 1-match ban. So the accumulation over the different matches can get you that ban. But Clarino slithers through. But that's been one of the chapters, we can say, or the lines for Maharlika. They get it to Clarino. He's been that spark of life for them, but the man from ADT picks up a yellow.
That's number 30. Si Amirul. We've seen a lot of yellow cards here, Claro.
A great number of them again. So they will have to be careful mamaya sa second half, because if they get 2 yellow cards again, they'll be playing a man down, and that can just flip the table completely on either team. Lalo na para sa ADT, they have a 1-0 lead again behind Aldeguer. He scored in the 21st minute, and that can go all to waste if they are not careful. But Clarino again, that's been one of the scripts for them. He's been reliable up front in getting possession, and they get this set piece. Taken low. Caliantes may have gotten a touch. And that is the halftime whistle dito po sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. It is Azkals Development Team 1, Maharlika Manila FC 0. Unfortunately, again, as we said earlier, Andres Aldeguer picking up the scoring for them earlier. It is in the 21st minute, a sensational goal. So question mark again, will they be able to sustain things again? Or will the, let's say, slightly more experienced Maharlika be able to get back to the driver's seat?
First half, we saw a lot of action from ADT. They're controlling the possession of the ball.
And again, let's not forget that action will continue, and we've seen so much already. First half pa lang, first game pa lang, dito sa triple header sa Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways again, as action aplenty, and that is how Aldeguer found the back of the net with his father in attendance too.
Initially ruled offside, but in the replays you can see there is no doubt that that goal should have stood, and it did stand. Andres Rafael Aldeguer scoring the only goal in the half.
And we have the statistics, of course. It's been mainly one-way traffic. Maharlika able to get some life into their attack. But possession 67-33, just to name one of them, of course. Could you say that the ADT have been able to fully utilize what they've been doing?
Actually, much worse in the early goings of the first half. ADT lang foot off the pedal, and Maharlika just pressing on in the latter stages of the first half.
And we take a look again. It's 10-6 for shots for ADT, 3-2 on target again for the aforementioned. Chances 9-4, but they've had better quality for the Azkals Development Team. 2 apiece for corners, and we've had 10 fouls combined by both teams.
A lot of the fouls there you saw against OJ Clarino. Expect a lot of action in the second half.
Right, nonetheless, but other than possession that we see, Ryan, what else here is the drastic statistic for you?
67% for ADT. You expect that, but I think Maharlika really should step up in the second half.
So again, that does it again. It is halftime between the Azkals Development Team and Maharlika Manila FC. And stay tuned. We will catch you for second half action dito po sa Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. We are moments away from resuming again. It is the Azkals development team going up against Maharlika Manila. And here we go. Coming to you again from the historic Rizal Memorial Center together with Ryan Phoenix. This is Claro Manzano. On call for this match, Maharlika are currently on the ball playing from right to left. ADT are in their white kits playing from left to right and immediately secure possession. And again, this is the Philippines Football League brought to you by Qatar Airways, and this is just match number 1 dito po sa triple header natin. At mamaya po ang ating mga games. Next we have Kaya Iloilo kontra Mindiola FC 1991. United City FC also versus Dynamic Curve Cebu FC. At 1-0 pa rin, Ryan, heading out of halftime behind the goal of Aldeguer, who was subbed off. What would you be doing if you were the ADT?
Well, some changes, as you said, for ADT. I was surprised that the goal scorer and the overall talisman nila na si Andres Aldeguer was subbed off in the halftime break. His first game for the club, so probably some fitness issues maybe. Let's see. Oh, that is a good nutmeg from Shraki. But whatever the reason is, si Aldeguer is subbed off, but they have depth in the team.
And such beauty.
Sarap panoorin. Ano?
Sana tuloy-tuloy yung replay, no? Kanina. But match resumes nonetheless. Much football to get underway.
But alam mo, in the first half, you saw a lot of domination from ADT. First 30 minutes, it's all white shirts. But the last 15 minutes, the men in black tried to put one in and find the equalizer. Pero they'd be buoyed by yung effort nila, talking of Maharlika Manila, na naghahabol sila in the last 15 minutes and the effort they showed here. And for them, they'd like to have that effort carried over.
So that was sent out of play. And that may have been Amirul, if I'm not mistaken, with the charging Frank Baring. And such an imposing presence. Intimidate talaga to have someone like Baring. Pero sabi mo nga earlier, calm and composed ang mga Azkals development team players. Throw in taken long, but Maharlika unable to secure. And Schwarzer, who has not been so busy as of late, will put things back into play. And one of the substitutes that we'd like to highlight dito para sa Azkals development team is Dominic Tom. He was playing with the NCRFA in the PFF U19, where they picked up second after falling to NOFA. So Maharlika resumed things. They got some possession earlier here in this end of the pitch. And again, we'd like to see more of that. Let's see how they'll work on their adjustments under dispute, but played out quickly. We're off to the races. Sent to Shraki in the center. Manages to keep it. Loved it for a moment. ADT asking for a handball, and that is what they get. But before we will have our set piece, we have a man down dito para sa Maharlika. But the handball, as you saw, Ryan.
Outside the area, which will lead to a free kick for the men in white ng ADT. Early on in the second half, you saw a lot of pressure from Maharlika. But the first real chance of the half will be courtesy of the Azkals development team. And I'd be interested to know kung sinong kukuha ng free kick na to because it's in a very dangerous area.
Of course, so many options. I mean, it's just not Shraki. There's so many up-and-coming guys. Alongside him right now is Chester Pabualan. So let's see if he'll be getting an opportunity to take a crack on goal and get past Vicente Valdez. So a five-man wall. Will this be the insurance goal for ADT? Or will Maharlika continue to hang on? Taken, but well saved but picked up the rebound. And it's in for the Azkals development team. They get the insurance goal early on in perfect style. The set piece unsuccessful, but they managed to get the rebound. And that is by Dominic Tom. I know, doing what he does best. He is a man up front, playing for the NCRFA. And make that 2 goals already for their youngsters, specifically up front.
Great substitution from ADT. Anytime you score, it's going to be a great substitution, Claro. And Dominic Tom there, picking up the pieces. Alam mo, nangyari doon, ano? The free kick was on target, saved by the keeper. That is why you do not switch off when the ball is still in play.
No, unfortunately for Maharlika, they weren't able to clean up.
And it's a body blow para sa Maharlika Manila because for the most part of the first half, for the end of the first half, they were really threatening. And early on in the second half as well, I thought they really tried to put the pressure on ADT. Pero ito nga nakita natin, no? ADT with the counter punch.
But headed off. Yung sayang dito, nag-halftime break na nga, nag-adjust yung Maharlika, tapos nag-concede kaagad. So yan talaga ang mahirap.
In terms of yung morale ng Tino, it really has to take a hit. But it's up to now to Maharlika Manila to pick up the pieces at kailangan nila maghabol. May oras pa. That is the good news. The not so good news is it's a 2-goal lead for ADT.
If you find yourself in this 2-goal hole, in the case of Maharlika's, they pick up possession in a dangerous area. Clarino swarmed. Schwarzer just gets it. Clarino was asking for a whistle as Schwarzer was charging off his line, not just to secure possession, but also to narrow down the angles. So played back.
But you really like what you're seeing from Maharlika Manila. They're piling on the pressure, trying to find that equalizer. Kaya lang to ADT seems to have all the answers.
100% as ADT. They were unable to secure that second ball as they gave some life to Maharlika. So the foul on team captain Stefan Schrock as he floored one of the men for Maharlika. Maharlika will resume play at the center of the field. And dito sa comments, Bader Alasid saying good one. RL Aura is saying the same. The service into the goalkeeper box headed off well. That was read by Jaime Rosquillo. And he's been solid for them so far in this match dito sa Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. And once again, Clara Manzano on call together with Ryan Phoenix.
Good defensive effort from number 14 na si Rosquillo, using his height to clear the danger. But meron pang corner ang Maharlika.
Driven in by Baguio. He was going for the back post, but read well by Schwarzer. Looking to kick start, but not a great volley. He sure had different intentions, judging by his body language. Ambong. This is what you'd like to do if you're Maharlika, hitting that reset button, going back, inviting some pressure to spread out the ADT defense. But unfortunately, they give it away. Pass haphazardly made. Shraki cutting in. Loves it. Shot and off the woodwork, unfortunately, para sa ADT. That was Tom going for it, but make that number 3 for the ADT. And I believe it is their captain, Stefan Schrock, continuously leading by example.
And you can see the inspiration given by their captain, number 17, making no mistake with his left foot. Yung unang tira, just hitting the woodwork. Good play as well from ADT, but this time around, they make no mistake. 3-0, and it's a big mountain to climb for Maharlika Manila.
Big mountain to climb, but certainly not out of this game yet. Dominic Tom was on the verge of getting his second goal. But again, that came off the woodwork, and ADT, they've been scrappy also to add to their relentless pressure and fantastic midfield play.
Sinasabi natin, Maharlika Manila, threatening and trying their luck, but ADT answering back with 2 quick goals in the last 5 minutes. And it's a comfortable lead now for the men in white.
So ADT can just hit cruise control, but that doesn't mean that they're going to stop going for scoring opportunities. They can be a lot more patient. They have the luxury, as Amirul and Rosquillo were getting things side to side with them earlier. Shaki took a fall, but play on according to referee Clifford Daipuyat. Maniti drives it. He was going for Pabualan.
Chung was looking for his right winger.
As here we go, Clarino, 1v1, but denied well by the back line. Charging back. That was great by Rosquillo, I believe. Not giving up, as he was miles back and just went for Clarino to make the save.
And you can see Julian Schwarzer just approaching Rosquillo and just thanking him. Alam mo, nice one, bro. Kasi si OJ Clarino was ready to pull the trigger. Medyo malayo ang tinakbo nun ni Rosquillo. And that was what we're talking about, the speed of these youngsters.
And it's been that, of course, nonetheless, with that mentality, as Amirul appears to be suffering from cramps also. And they would not like to lose him in this game with the way he has been playing. But let's not forget, the Azkals development team have 3 more substitutions before we resume things later on. It will be a corner kick. Not pictured is Shraki, I believe, Ryan.
He's still down in the halfway line. He took a hit kanina, but play was waved on by the referee. He seems to be okay, Shraki. Although for the moment, ADT are playing with 10 men. The Shraki is there on your screens.
So ADT with 10 men. If you're Maharlika, this is a short spurt for you. Take advantage of that situation. So it's all down to this. Driven in by Baguio. Long, the header, but skied, unfortunately, para sa Maharlika FC.
He'd love to take that one back to hit the target. Yan naman hinihingi mo sa mga players mo, no? Claro, sometimes you just ask them, just try to hit the target. And that time around was above and over the bar.
And nonetheless, you'd like to test the goalkeeper. Ibig sabihin, on target ang inyong shot.
And ang mentality lagi ng mga coaches na sinasabi sa mga youth players at least, no, is just make the keeper save the ball. And once that happens, anything can happen. The keeper can spill it. Oh.
But we could hear Pabualan crying in pain as he took a hit. But gets up, as we see in this instant replay.
Lawrence Baguio, number 15. He was going for the ball, to be fair.
No ill intentions at all. So we will resume things. ADT, the Azkals development team, have another set piece. And you can say they've been having possession, constantly bombarding their counterparts. And that's what's been able to give them this 3-0 lead. A comfortable cushion. And we still have half an hour to play. So Shiraki and Pabualan line up to this. It's taken by the skipper. Driven in, but off the mark. That had some great power though, Ryan, but off target.
Looks like a training ground set piece for ADT. Parang pinagpapracticean na rin. And Shraki He's looking for the on-rushing teammate. That is Rosquillo using his height. Of course, si Aldeguer, the scorer of ADT's first goal, is substituted in the halftime break. He's also a tall guy. Si Rosquillo ngayon ang another aerial threat for ADT.
Diagonal by Pabualan going for Shiraki. That was read by Ambong. But Chung was refusing to give up, as that's what he got whistled for.
Man down para sa Maharlika Manila.
As the man down at the moment is holding on to his right shin. It doesn't appear to be cramps, of course, with the way he's been moving. Must have been the hit that he took earlier, as this was another one that happened earlier. This is what paved way to the stoppages. Chung fouled Pinheiro. So Boris resumes things for them. And Boris also played for the Philippine Air Force 3 years back para sa dito rin sa Philippines Football League. So ball forward dito para kay Baring. Clarino looking to give them life as he did in the first half, but given away unfortunately. And we take a look at the fouls, Ryan. It is 8 committed by Maharlika, 5 by ADT. It's been a tough day for Maharlika containing these energetic boys. Shraki was going for Pabualan. Denied by Menzi. Boris. Great play by Maharlika to get the ball out of the back. They had to deal with the ADT pressure earlier as they worked their way to the midfield. No whistle. Out to Clarino on the left, looking to slither his way through, but denied. Clarino. And you're seeing that life again, Ryan, from Maharlika as the diagonal ball is in. But unfortunate for them. That looked promising for them nonetheless. Getting spells of possession in the midfield and working your way up. But that was cut short.
It's all about the consistency, Claro. And for Maharlika Manila, they had good spells and short bursts of time. Ang problema lang, you have to have that consistency over a majority period of the 90 minutes para ikaw ay manalo na isang football match. Generally, that's how you do it. But you talk about OJ Clarino sa Maharlika Manila and talk about the work rate na pinapakita niya. He's been really busy up front. He's lacking the support from his teammates. Well, on the other hand, ADT seemed like a well-oiled machine. Every time nagte-threaten ng Maharlika Manila, ADT seemed to have the answer. And it's in large part to this man here, Stefan Schrack, number 17. Talagang iba talaga yung binibigay niya sa laro. No? He's just there setting up the platform for these young boys to perform.
No better way to say it. Nonetheless, they've been dominant in the middle and in the wings. And they have 3 goals to show for it. Stopped by Galiantes to delay the attack. And let's take a look at the provisional standings because, or if this sticks, ADT will secure 4th place with the full 3 points today. Maharlika, on the other hand, will move to a goal difference of -9. So they would like to claw their way up a bit, get some consolation goals, fix up goal difference because yan ang ating tiebreaker dito sa league format. And who knows, while searching for those consolation goals, they can just get themselves back into it. Clarino. Baring. ADT able to resume control.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Coach Kim of Maharlika before the match and sabi nga niya, realistically, their target for the league is anywhere between 5th to 7th place. Sabi ko, is not that too low of a target? Sabi niya, well, it's a realistic target.
As a combination, Schwarzer is up to it. Boris was charging forward. He actually started the match as his center back, as we see here on that play.
The captain is looking for the return ball, and Julian Schwarzer. We talked about Schwarzer a lot before the game. But so far, hindi niya kailangan mag-perform because not really threatened. Despite the number of shots ng Maharlika Manila, si Schwarzer has not had to make a notable save as of yet.
Well, credit, of course, to the overall backline dito para sa ADT. Controlling Maharlika. Their cohesive midfield play has been also making it difficult for them. But Shraki finds his man. The shot taken by Chung, denied. Chung was looking to secure, win that in the air, but that came off him as Valdez secures.
Good 1-2 from ADT. At nakita mo the way that Shrek drives the ball forward. It's gonna be not a good sight for the Maharlika defenders.
And Shraki also had options left and right to make things very dangerous. And dito sa comments, Fei-Gao, ADT drastically improves a lot, hoping they continue to do this, sabi niya. And Anton Go, sugod Maharlika. So props din sa mga fans ng Maharlika. Sticking with your team through the highs and the lows.
Well, they're definitely going through a low as of the moment. Pero di pa tapos ang laban, but time is not on their side.
And maganda talaga yung mentality of refusing to will. Tuloy ang laban nonetheless. Chung was driving it down the center. And that was picked up. So that may have counted as a back pass. And that could be an indirect free kick for the Azkals development team. So with that slide, that was adjudged to be a pass, I believe, Ryan.
At yung tinawag ng referee, as we see a sub from the ADT team. Si Amirul earlier was suffering from a slight bout of cramps. He will be coming off. Amirul has had a very eventful day.
Ending his shift after 67 minutes, and he has a clean sheet to show for it personally. So let's see how the Azkals development team will shake up their formation. It's always an energetic player coming off for another one. Again, as we described with the nature of this team. So an indirect free kick, Ryan. I believe that they will have to get a touch at it first before taking a shot on target. And 3 men up to it. It looks like Shraki, Maniti, and Pabualan are up for it. Maniti will be joining the attacking foray. So will this make it 4-0? Let's see how this develops. So we have the whistle already. Looks like referee Clifford Daipuit will have to just reorganize things for a moment before we resume. Taken. But that is in dito para kay number 47, Chester Pabualan. My oh my. Absolute masterclass. And what a celebration we're seeing. Group picture pala ginagawa nila.
That is fun to see. And none other than their captain leading the way. And he was the one who gave this pass from indirect free kick kay Pabualan. And alam mo, pag ganyan kalapit kasi yung distance mo, it's always gonna be difficult for the defense. And that time around, ADT making no mistake.
And cruise control for ADT to the finish. Maharlika, could we say it's been a day to forget, or would you like to just take some things in and regroup? What would you do if you were Coach Kim?
You gotta take some positives from the match. We're talking as if talo na ang Maharlika, but there's still 20 minutes left to play. And I guess the positives will be the end of the first half nila. I really felt they were taking the game to ADT. The start of the second half, they were doing much of the same. But ADT having the answers and scoring the goals at the right time, especially in the second half. ADT just turning on the screws.
And here they go again. Shraki. Tom. Unable to secure.
Well, he'll be disappointed with his first touch there. See Dominic Tom.
As we have a substitution coming in. So David Basa will be coming on. And Ghislaine Boris will be calling it a day. The man who skippered this team. And it will be with Basa. Basa also a veteran of the football scene. And before Maharlika, he suited up for the likes of Global also.
As well as Stalin, if not mistaken, see David Basa. And a lot of people don't know that he was actually part of the 2010 Miracle of Hanoi lineup, si David Basa.
I just get shivers now that you mentioned that. It's been a long time and we've seen the development of Philippine football. As we see here, Maharlika look to get some life as Benzi Villanueva was trying to move forward for them earlier as he was denied. And we'll get to resume things again. And you mentioned earlier with Coach Kim para sa Maharlika, being realistic in finishing between 5th and 7th. But despite of him saying that, yes, we understand he's being realistic, but we know that they give 100% heading into every game. Because there's always an opportunity to get 3 points, nonetheless.
For sure. And especially against the likes of ADT wherein medyo bata yung kalaban and you can use your experience talking of Maharlika Manila. But this time around, youth prevailed over experience, at least in the 71st minute of this game.
And that's pretty much been a story, we could say, as time continuously expires. Tom had a defender to change that in Michael Menzi.
At mukhang merong sub na papasok ulit para sa Maharlika Manila. But what I'm seeing now from ADT kasi they're still applying the pressure. And they've actually won the ball back in a dangerous area. Now meron silang free kick.
Chung hit the deck in that play. And that is what is paving way to the free kick. And that was a collision between Michael Menzi and Dennis Chung. And Dennis Chung also a Philippines U22 international. Scoring some memorable goals also we can remember in the 2019 Southeast Asian Games, which took place in Rizal Memorial here.
So at home na at home sila itong ADT team natin.
For sure, of course. And it's great to have games again back dito sa Rizal since the pandemic. Shraki! Off the mark for him, unfortunately. He is going for goal number 2 in his personal tally. Stefan Truck scoring earlier off a rebound.
Talisman, the man, the legend, si Stefan Truck. And we see a sub here for Maharlika, si Akot, number 20. Mauro Akot coming on. A side note here, Claro. Stefan Truck playing for ADT on the field, on the stands. You have the Azkals coach, si Thomas Dooley.
And we know, of course, that was tough with Shraki was not included in the recent lineup of the Azkals as the clearance was made by Menzi.
And yeah, no love lost between these two gentlemen.
Let's see how the coming weeks and months will develop for these guys. And we also love with Coach Dooley is he's constantly in the local games, always scouting. Back when he was a coach in 2014, he was giving a lot of first caps to the homegrown boys, and that opened things up for them. Osquilio out to the left. And with the substitute early of Maharlika, it's Mauro Akot, who is a natural winger, being deployed at that position. Played his college football with DLSU in the UAAP. It's one of the collegiate competitions, of course, dito sa Philippines.
So marami ring mga youngsters tong Maharlika Manila.
No doubt, as Pabawalan into hands of Valdez eventually.
Good shot. As you see from the replay.
He was given some space and was challenged to shoot. Schwarzer. Hasn't really been a busy day in a good way again, as we said earlier.
If you're an ADT fan, welcome mo yun because nothing much to do para sa ADT number 1 na si Julian Schwarzer.
But it was a completely different game para sa Azkals development team, as Schwarzer is the man keeping them afloat in their opener. Save after save kontra Kaya Iloilo.
Today, hasn't had much to do.
But nonetheless, we still have 27 minutes of game time. And they would love to keep the clean sheet, lalo na kapag goalkeeper. As play resumed, Baguio took the throw in. Baring takes it, but off again of the left post. Schwarzer saw that was off the mark for him already.
Snapshot from number 11. Kita-kita naman ni Julian Schwarzer yun, and he said, you know, it's going out of bounds.
Despite of everything, credit to Maharlika with the high press, looking to force an ADT mistake in a dangerous area.
And the best times of Maharlika in this game was when they had this high press.
And talking about that, we saw that earlier. It's the first half. But you said again, there was that inconsistency. Well, let's see if they can use the time remaining to grab what they could. And as they reset the next game later on at 5:30 p.m., we have Kaya Iloilo going up against Mindiola FC as they look to hit the reset button. And don't forget, my third game pa tayo mamaya. We have United City FC going up against Dynamic Herb Cebu.
So para sa mga football fans, stay tuned.
As Chung gets played, pass over cooked para kay De Gracia, but great intentions nonetheless. And right again, first game pa lang to.
Of a triple header on a Saturday. Thank you for keeping us company.
And again, this is the Azkals development team going up against Maharlika FC dito sa Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Again, together Ryan Phoenix, Clara Manzano on call for this match. So 4-0 ang lamang dito para si Azkals development team. As Chung again, and he's hit the deck a number of times already.
Dennis Chung, a halftime substitute.
And Chung, of course, a very dangerous player. They respect him as a result of the number of fouls.
Committed against him, ano?
That's a great load already. And definitely our tally that we had earlier of 8 fouls para sa Maharlika has gone up by a bit. Chung remains down and he'll be getting medical attention based on the signal by referee Clifford Puyat. And let's go through the comments. And we have some friends of Ryan Fermin, one of the players dito para sa Maharlika FC. And they'd love to see him. And kay Chester Pabawalan, we have Banisami Arabala cheering him on in the comment section. And si Nicolas Romanovos saying that Pabawalan is a free kick specialist. He got to stand side by side with Shraki nonetheless. Kwentuhan ni Shraki in the press con, yung mga teammates niya, yung mga nagpapapicture dati nung bata sila. Grabe talaga yung changing of the guard dito.
Ngayon, kakampi na ni Stefan Schrack. And nakwento nga niya, no? Initially, of course, the players were a bit shy in the first training session. But they were out of their shells by the time their second session comes in.
Kitang-kita dito. Group picture pa sila kanina.
And what I like about ADT is that yung samahan nila, no, you can see the way that Shraki leads the team. And that is an error there.
And given away in the difficult area para sa ADT, but De Gracia manages to salvage the situation and deny the attack.
Kasi OJ Clarino has been very busy and has worked really hard buong laro. But have nothing to show for.
And credit to him for refusing to give up personally. As again, it's those chippy battles. That's been tough. ADT prevailing in this one. Abuala dispossessed by Basa. It's like Basa finds himself in a more advanced role, ideally a center back. And Clarino unable to again. And despite all the hard work that's been the story of the day, they've been able to read him well. And we have a shout out galing kay Aaron Egagamaw dito. Hello din kay Pat Mendoza dito. Sabi din ni David Cueto, lakas naman. I guess he's referring to ADT as a shot. Not enough power in that one.
Well, for Maharlika Manila, importante talaga that they continue that sort of pressing because again, because sa pressing niya, nakakuha nila yung bola in a dangerous area. Just that last attempt, not enough to threaten si Julian Schwarzer. Pero again, the best spells of Maharlika ay nangyayari yun when they do press high against this ADT team.
So dispossessed, Abualan going for Shraki. And acres of space para sa Azkals development team. Shraki working his magic. Slithering through, sends it. But into the feet of Baguio earlier. And that's eventually half cleared. ADT. Again, they'll look to slow things down. And what you were mentioning with Maharlika FC, it's about getting those reps in. Shot after shot, getting confident.
And building confidence actually. Because as of the moment, talo sila 4-0 and it's not really very easy to build confidence if you're losing by that big of a margin.
But down the goal line, an opportunity so close, unfortunately. Unfortunate for the Azkals development team, but Maharlika hanging on. Carino, but you could see the body language, the frustration, the miscommunication. Sigurado pagod na rin yung tong dalawa. They played a full shift so far for them.
Well, si OJ Clarino has really, really worked hard. Ang sabi nga sa English worked his socks off. Itong si OJ Clarino. Ang problema talaga, wala talaga siyang makakuhang suporta rin from his teammates. His teammates not making that secondary run. Wala siyang mapasahang bola. And in the end, na-dispossess siya and balik sa ADT ang bola.
You know, normally he's not able to find the supporting teammates, so as a result, he just gets swarmed. And with our corner kicks, may dalawa para sa Azkals development team throughout this match at apat para sa Maharlika. So, may mga opportunities dun. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to take full advantage of those. Forward, but off Menzi.
Well, Pabuala, number 47, is another man or another boy. Ang bata pa kasi
Boys
nila.
pa lang, di ba?
To watch out for. And I think if you're looking for youth football to support the Philippines, you can look no further than to support the Azkals development team. Because for sure, yung mga pangalan na yan ay tatandaan natin and we will say their names for quite a few years to come.
And we're just getting started here when witnessing this team. Played forward. At may foul dito ulit. And sabi ni Mike Bernardo, let's go tuloy sa Don Bosco boys. So that's a number of them. Like, I believe Dominic Thomas one of them. On the bench also, but not suiting up, we have Sian Galsim. Gawad Kalinga naman siya from their football program. So, napaka-diverse din ng ADT. Pabualan. De Gracia. Maharlika finding themselves behind the ball in search for a consolation at the least, as time is definitely not on their side.
I think it's safe to say that at 4-0, this has been a one-ball game para sa ADT. It's now up to Maharlika to find the consolation goal, find some positives from this game as they look to slump to their third consecutive defeat, Claro.
Yes, and that's unfortunate for them. ADT getting their first win also of the season though, but they have a match on hand relative to everyone dito sa standings natin.
ADT, of course, playing only one game before this one.
Shraki, headed up by Menzi. Both teams looking to secure, but sent by Rosquilio to the left. Shraki again, bidding his time. It's definitely on their side. Maniti telling him to play it forward. De Gracia, will this be another chance? But wide, unfortunately for them. Looks like Valdez was able to close out his angles and make it difficult for the youngster.
Well, De Gracia looking to score a goal, but nakita mo yung on-rushing teammate niya sa kaliwa. Could have also delivered a ball to him. Would have been a simple tap in, but at the same time kasi pag nandun ka na sa posisyon na yun ni De Gracia, talagang tunnel vision ka na lang. No? Nakita mo na lang talaga yung goal eh.
Kita rin yung gigil, yung inexperience as Clarino. Going down the left. Past De Gracia. Wins another corner. So I believe that is number 5 for them in this game, but haven't been able to take advantage of those.
And just to touch on yung sinasabi mong gigil and the experience, I think they will learn that composure is also very important para sa isang laro as they have more experience, more minutes, and more game time. And that is what ADT is for, to give them the experience and the platform to perform.
Definitely. More game time, more chances to get scouted also. And accelerate your development, as they say. Schwarzer saves that corner that was into the 6-yard box. Might have been the toughest save he's had to come up with so far in this match. It's been a virtuoso performance para sa Azkals development team. As our substitution, we have Lawrence Locsin coming on, and I believe Chester Pabualan is the one stepped off for them. As Isaiah Teruel saying, "Let's go, Lance Locsin." I believe Teruel was also playing for Nova back in his youth days. Oh my. So parang may party din dito sa comments of all the local football fans and players as Maharlika, Basa wins it. Basa with some footwork. Crossed in by Baguio, but over, unfortunately, para kay Villanueva.
And once again, yung sinasabi nga natin, the best spells of Maharlika are when they press high and win the ball in dangerous areas. At kagaya ng nakita natin kanina, almost a goal for Maharlika Manila.
We can also see the spaces that ADT have been able to take advantage of. So, nauuna talaga sila sa counter.
Of course, when you do press high, you tend to leave spaces behind. At yung nga ginagawa ng ADT, trying to find those spaces.
And of course, when you press, that can expose you. So, that's something that's really tough to fine-tune when teams do that. And dito from Jenny Estabilio Ang. Watching daw from Florida Blanca, Pampanga. Nagpapa-shoutout dito.
Thank you for keeping us company. And I hope you're enjoying the football action.
ADT back heel to Shraki. On the left again. The low cross. Shraki took another touch. Pero may corner kick dito para sa Azkals development team. And let's not forget, Ryan, of course, unang game pa lang to. napaka-action-packed nga kanina, lalo na sa first half. Followed up well by the second half. Later on, may Kaya Iloilo kontra Menjola FC 1991 ng 5:30. Shraki will deliver the in-swinger, lines up. Valdez, but spills it. Another chance! Just saved by Maharlika by the skin of their teeth.
Well, not the most convincing of saves from the keeper.
But ADT continue. At correction lang po sa ating time, we are now in additional time already. May +3 po tayo. This game pretty much done and dusted, except for the final score. Maharlika, of course. They've been chasing the game and not giving up. Again, we kept talking about them wanting to chase a consolation goal and spoil a clean sheet.
But ADT have answered every time Maharlika asked questions. And they've answered very convincingly. 4-0 ang ating scoreline. And it's a well-deserved 4-0 as well.
And given away, unfortunately, ADT as of late, they've had a lot of space on the counter with Maharlika charging forward. Maniti asking for options. He has De Gracia. Will he make amends? But denied by Baguio. And corner ulit. We have a great number of corners by both teams already.
Well, set pieces, of course, are going to be key for every team's success.
And at daming fans din para kay Lance Locsin. May comments dito galing kay Rodney Locsin and Jefferson Tolimao. And Truck to deliver this once more in what has been a fantastic match for the youngsters. The header, but saved at the near post, covered by Vicente Valdez. Pinheiro, but Galiantes read that well. Clarino, will this be it for Maharlika? The low cross, but given away, denied by Jerome Ang. And that was looking good for them, but a chance to recycle. The center looking clogged. Shraki eventually collects.
And what has been the story of the match para sa Maharlika Manila? You see OJ Clarino working very hard on both wings. That time nasa right wing siya. But just really lacking the support from his teammates. Whether the teammates are tired or are reluctant to help him dahil nga ma-leave out yung yung spasyo sa likod, no? At baka matamaan ng counter attack remains to be seen. But what you can see is OJ Clarino just usually the one there trying his best to do. But as you know, you can't win football games on your own.
Unfortunately for them, but ADT once more working their way. And that was by Locsin, I believe. And that does it. The full-time whistle in the Philippines Football League. Brought to you by Qatar Airways. And it is 4-0 dito para sa Azkals development team kontra Maharlika Manila. We had goals from Aldeguer, Coach Shraki, Dominic Tom, Chester Pabualan, and what has been a virtuoso performance for them. And what did you make of this game overall, Ryan?
Well, it's a masterful performance from ADT. In the first half, I thought it was all ADT, but the scoreline was just 1-0. In the second half, Maharlika asked questions. ADT answered them convincingly, scored 3 goals in the second half, en route to a convincing 4-0 victory.
And that was goal number 1 that we saw. Aldeguer with that mentality to finish up front. Shraki, I believe that was the nutmeg earlier. And despite the scoreline, we had tons of highlights. Plenty of action for us to see.
Talk about the youngsters of ADT, but in the end, it was the leadership of Shraki leading the way para sa Azkals development team, and it's the second goal here, I believe, Claro.
And yes, and look, like that was by Dominic Tom. That came off the woodwork earlier, if I'm not mistaken. mistaken. Or Tom capitalizing on the set piece. As Schwarzer wasn't as busy as their opener against Kaya Iloilo.
And that was the time that the ball hit the woodwork. But in the ensuing action, it was none other than the captain, Stefan Schrack, making no mistake and making it 3-0 as of this time. But alam mo, ADT is not yet done. Not only did they do the end in the offensive end, but in defense, as you see Rosquillo here with that important clearance.
Alam naman natin na delikado ang Maharlika attack at kitang-kita yung yung grit dito ng Azkals development team. I believe that was goal number 4 that we saw in the highlights.
And most of the highlights you will see from Maharlika will involve the number 9 na si OJ Clarino, but he cannot do the work all by himself.
And that was the game for them in a nutshell, unfortunately for them. And again, so many bright spots to take away para sa Azkals development team. But Maharlika FC, other than OJ Clarino giving all that energy on the wings, what else could we see for them moving forward?
Well, Maharlika Manila really, I think they can take solace in the fact that when they did press ADT, they had created so many more chances. Problema lang, ADT being more consistent, and ADT have the number 17 na si Stefan Schrack to lead them to victory.
So a big factor, of course, in giving the youngsters their confidence. Siya nga yung playing coach. Siya nga yung kanilang teacher, guiding them on the pitch, dito rin sa training. And we just summarize the match, no? 23 whopping shots taken by ADT. 9 on target. Maharlika also took 12. And it's also a great number in the scheme of things. But relative to their opponents, unfortunately, they were outgunned. They were outworked. And not a great way, of course, for this match. Not a great way, of course, for them to end this match. But some bright takeaways. So, it was 4-0 at halftime. It was 4-0. It's 4-0 dito. Full time in the Philippines Football League. Brought to you by Qatar Airways. Azkals development team over Maharlika again. Goals behind Aldeguer. Playing coach Rocky, Dominic Tom, Chester Pabawalan to wrap things up for them. And let's not forget that we also have another game later on. It's Kaya versus Mendiola. At may triple header po tayo. I just can't stop saying it. The fans are also here. And we just kicked off this triple header in style. And I can't wait to get going again. So again, Clara Manzan on call together with Ryan Phoenix dito sa Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. So do stay tuned as we have 2 more games at maraming salamat po. We will catch you later.